How could you ever? How could you cut? Whatever you ever.
Okay.
Oh my god, why does Autumn want to be in my folds? Wait. Do we have a chat box? I think we do. I just don't know. Penis. Yes! It works. Hi, Max! Oh my god, is that Sleepy Kit in my chat room? That's a crazy concept, man.
I'm getting an advertisement immediately.
Oh. Well, that sucks.
I know.
Hey, clip that.
I always knew you were a clout chaser.
I am. Do you have the game open, by the way? Like, can you see the game?
I can see, yeah, I can see you streaming the game to me.
Noise.
Oh my, I can't believe this. Half my tail is gone. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can, but then you're probably gonna be like...
Maybe you do have to put me on your lap, man.
Oh no, yeah, wait, but in that case...
That would be ew.
Okay, let's start, and then figure this out. Load, Act 2. Okay.
What? Scoliosis? What is this? No.
What?
This is just my true form. Scoliosis, bro. That's one fucked up back. Wow.
it do be quite an S, to be honest.
Oh.
God, there's too many boxes
I do
here.
have quite an ass, you're right.
Also put you on my head. You'd like to be here?
Oh. Oh, wow. I've never been here before. This is a new area unlocked.
Right, if I have you here, but oh my god, you're covering up my tits again. I don't know if I can stand for this, not gonna lie. If I put myself like this, and then I put you here, not covering up the tits, or the... That's perfect.
What the... It's not covering my tits, so it's okay.
Have priorities, man.
Peacock. I'm still trying to... Guys,
you're still
working in a transatlantic accent video this whole time, so...
Oh my god. Okay, wait. Also, anyone who's in chat, can you tell us how audio is? Like, is either Kit or me too loud or too small, too quiet? This background audio, there's hardly any background audio.
I can't believe this behavior.
I can't believe you're a mother.
It kind of sounds normal, when I listen back to it.
I mean, yeah, if it's normal, that's perfect, isn't it?
You know.
Okay.
I would do that Ferris squeeze gif I usually send you. Oh, I know exactly which one that is.
Oh my god. Oh my god, hi, welcome in. Good to have you here. We play gay lesbian games, be warned.
I'm not disabling ad block. Fuck you. You're not getting any of my ad money, guys.
I'm not getting any money anyways. You can absolutely disable that.
I outlaw.
Oh my god.
Poppycock.
You wanna start this shit?
Betsy. Oh sure.
We don't have to. We could just sit here for a while.
Let me just learn my accent while we talk for the next hour.
Yeah, it's just so you're sitting there trying to pronounce shit.
It's not even picking up hard.
Oh my god, I mean, what is this stream if not us trying to pronounce shit?
Basically what happens every time. How are you doing, Outlaw? Apparently you have to hydrate or dihydrate.
Me?
I
literally just did that. I literally just did that.
You have to do it again, because you just learned about the redeem. Sip it harder. English class? I'm not trying to do a transatlantic accent. Poppycock. Poppycock.
There you go. What's that word supposed to be?
Poppycock is like preposterous, you know?
Poppycock?
Like you're spouting bullocks.
Alright, I think we should start this.
Fine.
Fine.
I hope you're both doing well. I'm doing amazing because I get to be on the lap. That's
Yeah,
because I've been acting behaved.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit disturbed by this thing, but overall I am pretty
I love
good.
the slinky S.
What the fuck is that?
Kitiosis. Trigger warning. Creature. All right, let's.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
should I do the translation or should you?
I can start off.
The translation, sorry.
The
Wait, no, because
narration.
Henny's gonna be there. So,
Oh, so wait, who's talking? I forgot what happened.
all right, look, I'll do the narration for now. If Henny has any lines, and if Henny ends up not having lines, you can switch over.
Okay.
Okay. While Micah began to drift off into an uneasy slumber, Henny was busy cutting her own way through the dense, sprawling forest. Magdalena had been as good as her word, and she had indeed set Henny free, a concession that Henny hadn't expected from her. Monsters weren't known for their amenability, what the fuck, nor for their sincerity. Henny had believed, when Magdalena had dragged her bodily from that cold, hateful prison, that she would be put to death, torn apart just like the bandits in the forest had been. Henny's heart had hammered in her chest with each step through those subterranean cells, and inwardly she had cursed Magdalena's name. She had thought of demanding that the vampire let her go, but common sense had told her any act of resistance would be in vain. Magdalena would not listen to her. Why would she, when Henny was but a human woman, and a short, dowdy one of unprepossessing features besides? Well, Henny's beautiful!
What? I was about to say, excuse me?
Henny, don't put yourself down, I'll take you.
Henny is so gorgeous.
What the fuck? Henny had been prepared to die for Micah's sake, for T-shirt's sake, but she hadn't wanted to die needlessly while Micah suffered still. Fear had dogged her, sewn beneath her skin like 1,000 needles. That's a lot. But in the end, Magdalena had surprised Henny. She had, after all, led Henny through her large, dust-covered entrance hall and out to the front door.
Holy shit, she was not thrown out the window? Look at Magdalena. Ah.
Right? Oh shit.
Oh my god, I need to get back into this. Wait, I have to narrate both.
No, I'll do Henny this time because you have to speak for. Oh god, okay, but I'm putting her in a southern accent. I don't care.
Yeah, go pop off, girl. Do what you can.
Giddy up, cowboy.
Well,
Magdalena had addressed Henny thus, one eyebrow raised, as she pushed the door ajar.
are you going to leave your...
Okay, Magdalena, calm down. She really wants her out of the house. She's got social anxiety.
Oh my god. Are you... concentrate.
No, Magdalena, it's okay.
Oh no. Are you going to leave like your silly, sentimental mistress wants you to? Fuck off!
Ouch. Alright, give me a sec. I'm gonna let my cat out while you're doing this. I came back. I've returned. Kade? Kadesuki-san. Guys, what happened? How long was I gone for?
I'm still here, give me a second.
Oh. You're just struggling? Oh my god. I thought you abandoned me in the stream. Wow, welcome back. Thank you, Father. Are you proud of me for what I've transformed into today?
My sister came in being like, you need to taste the sauce I made.
I don't want to know about that after you shoved your fingers in the camera telling me that you have cum on there.
I hey, here, go taste it. I was like, man, I don't have the time. No, don't taste it. She just stood there explaining to me how she made the sauce. She plans to have it with the chicken, and I'm sitting there like, yeah.
How to fuck your stream? Try the sauce. That's what my mom does as well. She comes in here and she stares at me through the doorway until I try the food. She just keeps the door open and she just stares the whole time.
Peak. Also, like, I don't even remember what I said. Something along the lines of, "Oh, fucking, like, really?" And I said that so loud, my sister opened the door, being like, "Sorry." She still showed me the sauce, anyways.
I thought. Oh, was it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. She's a
Oh,
professional
man.
cook, so I do expect it to be good.
Okay, well.
Oh my god.
Well, jealous now. I've got no sauce here.
Hello,
Hi,
Caliber
Sonny, how
White.
you
Welcome
doing?
in. Jesus fuck.
Wait, Sonny, should I be calling you Caliber? Because I've just been spouting your name left, right, center constantly.
Oh my god.
Should you want me to call you Caliber as well?
Caliber sounds like a good name. Oh my god, call you whatever you want. Oh my god.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's...
Pipsqueak.
Oh my god.
Alright, go on, Magdalena.
Oh yeah.
Henny just patiently standing there.
Right?
Like,
Magdalena's having like some kind of like mental breakdown.
She knows there's a pretty lady waiting for her in the cell down there.
Oh my god,
somewhere.
yes. She's like, oh my god, can you like leave so I can get down to Micah again, please? Oh my god.
But she's also like, Henny, you're kind of, you know.
I think they should have a threesome.
Oh, that fixes everything.
Yeah. Polyamory. Hot fix. For mostly
Great
nothing,
that we have
honestly.
a server with 3 people.
Yeah, oh my god, we can practice this.
Oh my god, guys, let's get into it, yeah.
Oh my god, okay, let me try again. Are you going to leave like your silly sentimental mistress wanted you to? Or would you prefer standing there looking stupid?
What?
Yes, you can fix everything with Thespian, like, shut up, Dare!
Absolutely, you can. What the fuck? No, you're not acting as cunty as usual. What happened, Slay Queen, Girl Boss, Pussy Pop? What happened? Cunty, demure, dainty, girly queen? What happened? Okay, I've had enough. No, the stupid voice that I was about to put on. I can't fix this. Okay, I don't know how to do this. I don't remember what you did for her last time.
I don't know, I think I did something along the lines of like a more cheery posh kind of thing. Like, you knew that, no, you knew that Micah is my mistress all this time, like something like that, you know?
Oh, if I do a British accent, Dare's gonna shit on me.
No,
alright, don't
pop
worry.
off. British is posh enough. You can't do this.
You knew that Micah is my mistress all this time.
Of course I did. Did you take me for a fool? I wasn't born yesterday.
10 minutes trying to get a sentence out, so.
Deception isn't very hard to sniff out once one has been alive for as long as I, and your mistress's attempts at subterfuge were laughably poor.
Never say that to me again. Oh, I thought the same as myself. Micah always loses when we play card games. She's awful at them, really, but... Goodness!
Oh my god.
Oh, poppycock. If you already knew that Micah is my mistress and I am the maid, why are you letting me go and not her?
Well, why not? I can do as I please. This is my home, and I am free to decide who I allow to stay or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yes, but...
Enough. It is not your place to question my decisions, human. You must remember to respect your elders and your betters.
You didn't miss any Thespian Lex. We're not starting yet, but we will in a couple minutes.
I have decided to let you go out of the goodness of my heart. I released you from your cell, and now I have even brought you to my front door, but still you will not go. Do you like it here so very much? Would you like to stay? Can we have a threesome?
What if she
I have
says
a
yes?
bed. Please don't tell me that you have a death wish. That would undermine all your poor mistress's ploys. If you truly loved her, you would not let her noble sacrifice go to waste, now would you?
Ew. Henny had grit her teeth together as she regarded Magdalena, stung by her words. Medication time!
I already took mine, fuck you.
Well, I have to take mine, so you're gonna have to fucking wait, aren't
Oh
you?
my god. Everyone who has mandated medications, take them right now. Everyone who
have to pop
doesn't, do
pills
not
now and
take
then.
anything.
Take something anyway, just for fun.
No! I will not stand for this! Oh my god, you know what I haven't done yet? Let me try and do that. I don't know if I can.
Are you looking at porn right now?
Yes. How did you know?
I just know. Taking the whole bottle.
Do not! Oh my
Me
god.
when I have TikToks and I pretend I'm
TikToks.
popping pills. You can sit down
TikToks.
on my dick. Sorry.
I would sit
Anyways.
down on your dick.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm shaped like a dick currently, but a twirly one.
Oh. I mean, that's some fun, doesn't it?
Thank you. I love Henny's angry face. It's so cute.
Where did I put that? Oh my god. Wait, I can...
Searching for lost footage.
Yes! Oh my god.
Had Henny not seen what Magdalena was capable of in the woods, she would not have known to fear her. Henny had seen what Magdalena could do, however, and it unsettled her. The bandits' screams and their severed limbs would not leave her. What's that word?
Daubed?
Daubed? Against her eyelids, just as their blood had been splashed, red and streaky across the forest floor.
Sounds kind of sexy, not gonna lie.
Of course it would to you, you little freak. Henny had known that she could not fight against Magdalena, and neither could she argue with her.
I couldn't either in the face of such a face.
I just... Can you clip that, please? That was some 1000 IQ moment. Oh God. You sure do have a way with romantic words right there.
Thank you.
In the face of such a face, I just...
You can tell that she has a face, but the fact that she has a face.
Not this again. I thought we got past that.
No, we never did.
I'm feeling just uncomfortable all over. It had been abundantly plain, much as the nose upon Henny's own face, that she would not let her Micah go.
This is thespian gags.
I knew it! Wait. Why'd I bring that up again? Don't. She had already made up her mind. Alright then, I leave if that's what you're after. I won't forget you though, Magdalena. I won't forget what you've done to me or to Micah, and I won't forget that you're still holding her captive. I'll come back. I swear it on my ma's life, and I won't leave without Micah.
Not your mother.
My mama.
My mama. Really now, that is quite the declaration.
I love how angry she gets.
I suppose I shall look forward to seeing you again then, Lady Henrika. It gets so lonely here, living in this desolate old pile, and I do love entertaining guests. I will be sure to save a place for you at my tea table. Ensuring that you are able to make it out of the forest in one piece, of course. It is awfully dark out there, and look at all the fog. I don't much fancy your chances, but what do I know?
Fog don't bother, bad bitch.
Yeah, you might be more durable than you look.
Damn it for days. Henny had not dignified this teasing retort with an answer.
Fair.
Thankfully, then I don't have to do my British accent anymore. Instead, she had turned 2D mode, trying to assume as much dignity as she could, which, given her life spent serving the Von Essen family... What was the Essen word again? The meaning of it.
It's a city, but it also means food.
Ah, yes. Was more than one might have assumed, and marched off with her head held high. Oh, she slid away.
Oh my god.
If her shoulders had trembled when she entered the forest, it had not been too apparent.
She's so strong.
Not again, the fucking nighttime.
Did you know that time passed as it was night in the woods and she was walking? And her feet
Like,
probably
10
hurt.
minutes passed, and we had to have like 30 minutes worth of text for it. So dumb. Now free from Magdalena's clutches, Henny continued to pick her way through the woods. Henny thought of Magdalena and of Micah and how her poor mistress must have been faring as she trudged onwards. Her thoughts strayed, too, on occasion, to her own safety, and whether she really would be able to emerge from the woods unscathed. But whenever she began to doubt herself, she bit the inside of her cheek in self-rebuke. It was not, Henny told herself, a case of if she would escape from the woods, but when.
She's so strong for that. Oh my god.
I'm so turned on.
Oh my god.
Henny knew that if she succumbed, either to wild animals or to the icy air, Micah's fate would be sealed.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Micah was relying upon her, which meant she had to keep going. There was nothing else for it but to keep putting one foot after the other, no matter how many times it took. Oh, she looks like she has a bra on her head. Henny continued to walk, her dark eyes focused on the uneven path ahead. It was very dark in the forest, and the moon did little to light her way. The trees were dense, their foliage vast, and only a few slivers of milky light could penetrate their bower. The wind blew cold and sharp, further teasing Henny's dark hair into disarray.
I feel like this is gonna be dragged out a long time again.
Yeah. Her dress, that's what I'm trying to get out with little like comments and stuff because I know I make it longer. Her dress, which was stained and dirty from the night's exertions, fluttered about her legs. Back then, Henny had thought only of escaping from the bandits. She had squeezed Micah's hand tightly in her own and had pulled her along as a child might a beloved toy, careless of which direction they had been fleeing. Jesus. Henny's me.
Oh my god, do you also walk through the foggy forest in Hare's trousers? I can't fucking think. Do not make me hydrate. I just drank something.
No, it's for this. Oh, okay, yeah.
Also, chat gotta hydrate, which sucks for you guys.
If you don't hydrate in chat, you're gonna be next on the list.
Yeah, you're gonna be forced into the Sesbian gigs.
You know,
With
Autumn's
consent for legal reasons.
Dehydrate herself. Henny hadn't known where they were going. She hadn't much cared either. She had only wanted to save herself and her mistress too. Now, Henny walked at a more regular pace. Her limbs were too weary to run. By God, her legs felt like lead, and she felt the need to preserve her strength. The hours passed by in a blur, unbeknownst to Henny, who had no timepiece as she walked. She did not know where Augsburg was, or if she was even moving in the right direction. She could have been doubling back upon herself for all she knew. It did not seem to matter very much.
Actually, earlier I was thinking about if I even know where those cities are, and I don't think I do.
Oh my god.
So as you, yeah, I know, right? As you narrate, I might look them up.
The Sesbian Gex, dear Didi, don't be sad, it's okay. Henny was no stranger to physical labor, but she had been walking for such a long time her soles were beginning to blister. Each step induced new exquisite agonies within her which made her gasp. But to be fair, isn't Micah currently sleeping on a bed full of like bugs and shit?
Yeah, she is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Her bones seemed to scrape together, and a canker on her ankle burst, filling her shoe with pus. Ew.
That is pretty disgusting.
Right?
Not gonna lie.
She got stanky shoes now. All the while, the cool wind tugged at her hair, nipped at her cheeks, whipped her skirts about her thighs.
Okay, so I looked it up. Essen is in like the middle left of Germany, and
Hmm.
Augsburg is pretty much at the bottom. In
Ah,
Bavaria.
the city of the bottoms.
Oh my god, they're moving towards the bottom. Yeah, it's a pretty long, like, I think by car that would be like a 8 to 9 hour drive. So by carriage, it would take a
What
while, yeah.
the fuck?
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god. I've never actually no, I was gonna say I've never taken a car ride that long, but I've taken a car ride for like
You've
I
taken
think
my
30
ride.
hours or so. Yeah, 34 hours just about I've been. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's a lot.
I know, but I was traveling from one country to the other.
Fair.
Right. I read this one, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, I won't forgive you.
Eh?
Henny heard, or thought she could hear, a faint howling in the distance, like that of stalking wolves. Agitation seized her, and agitation so great she could not quell it even by biting the inside of her cheek.
She can bite the inside of my cheek.
Okay, got it. Her mouth filled with blood, her tongue tingling with its coppery tang as she hurried on. She moved between the trees, fitfully aware of the howling, which no longer sounded as distant as it once had. It was growing louder and louder, rattling about inside her skull like a stone until
Oh?
Henny exclaimed, surprised as she burst through a copse of thickly packed trees and out onto a mud path. She had emerged at long last onto a road, one of many which twined through the tall trees of the forest. There, not so far away, she could see the source of the noise which she had heard. It was not a pack of hungry wolves, after all, but a carriage drawn by two thin, hungry-looking horses.
Uh-huh.
Hardly able to believe her luck, Henny dashed to the carriage, then cried out breathlessly to the coachman seated upon it.
Wait! Oh, please wait. Will you not stop for me? I'm in dire need of help. I need to go to Augsburg immediately before it's too late. It's very, very important. I swear, good sirs. My poor mistress's life is in danger, and I am the only one who can save her. If you don't help me, I fear she might die.
L.
Did you just say L?
She's having thespian gig. She's not gonna die. Micah
I
felt.
mean,
Oh, we're back here again.
maybe I would find that quite attractive.
All right, you're going back into your little Yukimasa state, man. We gotta keep rolling. Uh, my design intern job also turned into human resources. I may be taking every profession at this point. You know, at least you're super qualified for everything now.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't
Micah
even
felt
know
just.
what human resources are.
You're human with a lot of resources.
Holy shit.
I know. I'm kind of the Picasso of my era.
Yeah.
Micah felt disoriented when she woke the following day in an unfamiliar bed which smelt of something spoiled, covered in fucking bites from
Wait,
all the
in an
bedbugs apparently.
unfamiliar bed? Did you get moved?
She got in the middle of the night. It took Micah a few moments to become fully cognizant.
Yeah, cognizant. Like
Oh,
she realizes it. She understands
I've
what's
never
happening.
heard that word before in my life. Of her surroundings. She had slept little the night prior, and her head ached, her eyes pulsing in their sockets like molten steel.
Oh, fuck yes. Oh my god. Hi.
Yo!
Jesus. Okay.
Alright, little ketchup hair.
Do not.
Elmo.
Do not.
Okay, I guess I won't. Okay.
She has really pretty boobs.
Alright, you take over the narration. My cat just opened the door with its own paws.
Oh. She wants those boobs too. No comment. Oh my god, a redhead. Really? How's that your first fucking response?
Split.
Max just went, oh my god, a redhead.
Not ginger. Red hair is beautiful.
You gotta narrate.
Oh, I thought you were okay. Goggly Micah
Oh,
pressed the
should I
heel
take
of her
over? Oh
palm.
my god, yeah, actually that makes sense. You're so smart.
Oh, I know.
Gradually, Micah pressed the heel of her palm to her eyes and rubbed them. Then she looked around in earnest, but soon found herself confused.
Again.
Again. The bedroom Micah found herself in was so unlike anything she had seen before that she initially wondered whether she was still dreaming. She pinched the inside of her arm in the hopes that the room would shift like water, but it remained immutable. She must have been awake then. The pain made this irrefutable, even if the chill which assailed her did not. You can add commas there and it'll be a lot easier to read.
Jesus Christ.
The writer in me.
You should rewrite this.
Yeah, I'll have like 10% more says being legs. Micah had faint recollections of running through the forest last night. Her parents had both been stabbed in their carriage, and so Henny had told her, but these memories remained a blur. Micah could not recall her parents' final moments, but she could remember awaking in the dungeon of an unfamiliar abode, governed by an unfamiliar and very sexy woman. Huh? She is even hotter in black and white. Oh my god.
Come on, clip that.
This this woman, who had introduced herself as Magdalena, had claimed to be a vampire, and now Micah was her prisoner, which is like every woman's fantasy, like every woman's kink to ever exist. I know that because
One day you'll be me. Kadi, do you want to kidnap me?
maybe.
Oh my god.
The bedroom Micah found herself in seemed even more miserable in the daylight than it had last night, obscured by a veil of darkness. It was more dilapidated than the servants'
She's angry.
quarters and Micah's home, and had most assuredly seen less use. The furniture, though luxurious, was scuffed, the carpet threadbare, the basin upon the bedside table covered in hairline cracks. Dust covered every conceivable surface, and spiders had made their homes in the corners of the room, their gossamer webs outstretched like grasping fingers.
It feels like someone here was really trying to show off their like detailed writing and not actually.
Yeah.
We heard all this last night, how bad the room is and how many bugs are in there and
Yeah.
everything's shitty. This is just God.
I have low hopes of it getting better.
Yeah, no. But it just feels like trying to show off. Like, no, we get it. You can write well.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
good at metaphors. Leave it alone. If you overdo it, they're not impactful.
Oh my god. The air was so stagnant, Micah felt compelled to open one of the windows, but her attempts were in vain. Just break it.
I'm confused.
Kick it in. The windows were locked, and she could find no key to aid her. Kick it in! Oh my god, if you want to leave, it's probably like the most flimsy glass ever, and those wood frames look terrible.
Unless the vampires have super sound or something.
I don't fucking care! Take the bowl and hit it!
Exactly.
I hope this is not gonna be a, pathetic and useless main character syndrome kind of thing. Because
She'll
that
get there.
always fucks me over so hard. Perturbed, Micah slumped down at the desk by the window. Oh my god, probably she did that in a very sexy way. Then stared through the stained, smeary glass. Why are you laughing so much?
It just got me, man. She probably did that in a really sexy way.
I don't care if she's on the first floor there. She has to jump. It's the only way out of this predicament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got your back, bro. That's all I got.
Magdalena's gardens sprawled out before her in a dense, twisted tangle. Perhaps there had been flower beds in this garden once, neatly planted, and an apple or I can't pronounce that. And any number of the other arboreal delights. Arboreal. That's horrible. You know, what I struggle pronouncing is like the or sounds, like the arboreal.
Or.
I will
Sorry,
castrate you. I'm gonna take your giant noodle body, I'm gonna stretch you out, and I'm gonna cut you in half.
No, all the juices will come out.
No!
All the summaries are just this place is like Asmongold's house. Wait, what? Who's Asmongold?
Who the fuck is Asmongold?
This is another one of them queers. Let's move on.
Where did you see that? Did someone say that? What is happening?
Oh, I'm gonna throw up any minute now.
Oh, okay. Micah was no gardener.
Really? I couldn't tell.
But she could deduce at a glance that Magdalena's garden had been unloved for years. Just how her vagina was.
She's so smart. She's so smart.
She's
and
like
not at
so
all
perceptive.
Confused.
Like
Just immediately.
I'm gonna be honest. If this was a D&D campaign, she just rolled a solid 7 on perception.
Not got a lot of intelligence, bro.
No.
When she woke up in that cell, she was like, I'm not sure what this is.
Right? Oh my
like,
god, she literally didn't
like,
recognize the fact that
bro.
she was in a cell. I remember that.
This is an unfamiliar environment.
Beyond the walls of Magdalena's garden was the forest. All tall, imposing trees not so dissimilar from the proud oak which guarded the Van Essen family's mausoleum. Fuck, it's a mausoleum again. Why are you so horny for that mausoleum? The trees emerged from the fog. Their bows raised towards the sky. Festooned darkly verdant leaves.
Any minute now.
There were so many trees that Micah couldn't see very far beyond them.
Festoon these nuts.
Perhaps there wasn't much to see at all out there, other than nature. The rest of the world seemed very distant indeed. Micah herself might have been a figure from a fairy tale, a languished maiden trapped inside a tower by a wicked witch unable to escape.
Okay, Morgana reference.
Right? Oh my god. She's so jerking off to this. I think Micah has read one too many fanfictions.
She's actually like, oh, I'm a maiden. I'm trapped here. And she's gonna do things to me.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Hopefully.
Wait. I remember them talking about that last time, no?
Yeah, literally. She had to reassure her. She basically was that whole Mr. Kidnapper, please don't hurt anything. And then I'm not gonna touch you. What?
Yeah, literally. It was amazing. I just remembered that. Like Magdalena going, I'm not like those men. I can control my urges.
Damn. And then she fully asked, so how would 2 women do that?
Yeah, oh my god, I remember that
too. She was like, no, you have to be more detailed. Tell me exactly how it would happen. What is the scissoring position?
What is a clitoris? I have never heard of that.
Let's do like a practical test. Like you show me exactly.
I always thought the clitoris was a concept of the feminists.
No, oh my god, we're gonna find it any day now.
We're on a journey to find the clitoris. The sun hung above the treetops, suspended, half hidden by clouds. Its rays were weak and did little to dispel the cold which pervaded inside Micah's bedroom.
Exactly. I felt like she was almost playing dumb by how stupid she was sounding.
Wait, oh my, wait, are you reading a chat I'm not reading?
What is eating out? Or going to a restaurant? Dear Deity said that.
I don't see that.
Why don't you see that?
Let me refresh. Oh my god, there's been so much happening, and I did not see that.
Oh, you haven't.
What the fuck is
Yeah.
this? I gotta refresh my shit more often. It's also not showing in the stream, actually.
Oh, sometimes I have my phone open if it's not, you know.
I have it open on a separate, Eh!
Maybe your stream is a bit discriminatory.
Wackadoodle. Seems like a bit buggy.
Poppy
Okay,
cock.
the question is, do we fix it right now and we take like a minute and you all come back? Or do we just say fuck it and fix it next time?
Fuck it.
You are very eager
There's
to
something
fuck,
I'll
aren't
read
you?
out. I'll read out the comments.
Oh my god, okay. You gotta like
Next,
you
it
gotta
seems like it's a
cite
bit
it though.
buggy.
You gotta cite it, okay? You gotta tell me who
What
it
does that
said, like who said it,
Oh,
when,
okay.
what they said, and I gotta hear the descriptions of the emojis.
Ah! Oh, something just scared me. I'm sorry. My water bottle, like, it unfolded and did that, like, click thing.
Oh my god.
It really scared me.
Okay, wait, I can see it now though. Like right now it seems fine. Stream can also see it.
Also gotta read the Hey, you've not even changed to the abyss rats?
No, I was trying to do that earlier. Midstream didn't work. I just didn't think about it before stream. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
I obese those rats so much.
We're gonna have obese rats as our channel points in memory of Michelle and the lost dignity he lost
when he
in
tried
that
to
moment.
raise up a girl for the first time.
when he tried to flirt and he was like, yeah,
I don't even like your breasts. They look like obese rats.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wonderful.
Oh my god. I kind of hope this game also has a moment like that.
Absolutely it will.
Peak. Oh my god, okay. Looking out the window made Micah feel more trapped than lying in her bed had. Perhaps you should try lying in Magdalena's bed and see how that feels. At least, in her bed, she could imagine that somebody might come and rescue her. In Magdalena's bed, you can imagine that somebody might come. Seeing the Seeing the dance.
Rat eating a German sausage. Oh!
What?
A rat me! Rat is me!
Do not.
I'm eating the German sausage.
Oh, okay, fair, you can do that.
Rat eating a German sausage.
Sausage. Oh my god, okay. Where was I? Seeing the dense trees which surrounded Magdalena's garden made these hopes feel hopelessly naive, however.
Oh.
Who would dare venture all the way into the woods in the hopes of finding her? Not her man. We established that. Walter might well send out a search party, but he would have no idea where to begin searching, and Micah wasn't certain if she much wanted Walter to find her either. She would languish inside Magdalena's home, wasting away like the flaking paint upon the walls until...
Oh?
Micah's dreary thoughts were soon interrupted by the discontented rumbling of her stomach.
Grrr.
She gotta eat. All of a sudden, she recalled that she had not eaten very much the night prior, or drunk very much, for that matter.
Whose fault was
The throat was parched. It seemed almost heartless to experience such base desires after her parents' death, but Micah's body knew little of propriety.
Prophecies.
Shut up.
Her blush! It's so cute!
It is.
Oh, Maxie said, Kit confesses being a rat again. Nothing new. My twin, after all. You know, I'm a noodle rat this time, though.
You're a little bit of like a rat noodle.
Yeah, but you ever heard of a ferret?
A ferret is just a rat noodle.
Yeah, pretty much.
It all cared of. I mixed it up so hard. How did I go from all it cared of to it all cared for?
It doesn't matter. This thing is written dumb anyway. Leg rat.
All it rat.
All that rat.
Look, she got perky nipples. Anyways, fortunately, Micah did not have to search for long to find a means of alleviating her hunger pangs.
Don't let it reach
Somebody, Magdalena presumably, had left a tray on her bedside which bore a plate of
Oh my God,
scones.
Autumn's happening. It's happening, Autumn. Did you hear Kylie's accent shift to the Texas one? It's happening.
What?
Oh my God, I can't believe it. You've been conditioned.
Don't let me reach Europe.
Mm.
I'm gonna show you some sausage when you do.
I
They didn't know
you had it in you could.
Well, you see, where was I? Had left a tray on a bedside table which bore a plate of scones, a teapot, and a saucer. Micah soon discovered that the teapot was still warm, which was kind of creepy. A few indistinct ribbons of steam unspooling still from its spout. Magdalena must have entered the bedroom less than half an hour prior, while Micah had been asleep, to set her breakfast down.
Oh.
The scones, meanwhile, seemed plain, and they would be nutritious, but they would be nutritious enough. Micah was.
Where she gets food.
I wonder what the fuck she has scones for. Isn't this like Germany in like 1900 or something like this? Like 1800? I don't think they had scones.
Well,
We don't even have scones right now.
Scones over here. But yeah, yes, you do.
No, we don't. At least they're not called scones.
Germany, bro.
The fuck is a scone? Wait.
Maybe Mom a different girly, and she saw like a fucking piece of bread, and she was like, "Oh, this scone is not exactly nutritious, but."
I remember these, and I remember that no, I've eaten them before. We do not eat those on a daily basis here. We don't have those.
Well, maybe Magdalena is out of everything else. God, why are you so rude to her?
Pretty easily.
She can't just whip up a pizza, okay?
Well, that's honestly a problem on her. She seems kind of broke. I don't even know why Mike is even sticking around, not gonna lie.
Why doesn't she just throw herself out the window and leave?
Oh my god. Micah was surprised that Magdalena kept any food at all in her home, given the curious nature of her diet. As a vampire, did she not sup only upon blood? Where had Magdalena procured these scones? Out of her ass, maybe? Had she made them herself for Micah's sake? The thought of her vampiric host laboring in the kitchen, her sleeves rolled up like those of a common drudge, was an amusing one. It was almost enough to make Micah smile. Oh my god. Them in the morning in the kitchen making food together.
Oh, that's so lesbian.
That is! Wedges underneath the teapot was a note. Wedges?
Come on.
You want some potato wedges?
Oh, I'm gonna get so hungry.
Oh my god. We're also not getting anywhere. It's been like almost an hour. We're not getting anywhere. Oh, it's okay though. We're having fun. Wedged underneath the teapot was a note, which Micah extracted. No, that's not what that says. Extricated.
Why would you use that instead of God? There's no reason for it. That word doesn't exist, okay?
She smoothed the note out, then examined it. The note was a perfunctory one, written in an elegant, swooping cursive. It said quite simply, "Eat up and get your strength back, you'll need it."
What the fuck is that her trying to do an impression of Magdalena in her head?
That is her impression of Magdalena now. Nobody had signed the note, but Micah was sure it was from her mysterious hostess. Who else?
Girl, literally, who the fuck else lives in this house that you know of?
Micah wondered whether the note had been intended as a friendly gesture or a threat. Perhaps it was a mixture of both. Perhaps she was kinda into it. Micah was unsure how to feel about it, but she supposed it was nice that Magdalena had gone to the effort to care for her. Tea and scones were better than bread and water.
Unless it tastes disgusting.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like I'd rather have bread than scones, but that might just be the German in me.
I don't remember the last time I had scones, but... I don't even know what they taste like.
the way I remember them, they're very hard and brittle and kind of tasteless, and also they taste a lot like starch. I don't think I
Yeah.
like them.
You know, I don't want to be like, one of those people, but crumpets are so fucking fire, bro.
I don't even know what that is either.
Really? It's so good, man. I usually just put them in like the toaster. You toast it for a bit and have some like butter on them. They're so freaking delicious. Crumpets are so freaking good.
Crumpets.
Definitely try it at some point.
They look good.
Crumpet.
Are they like pancakes or are they like hard?
They're quite soft actually, even after being toasted a bit. They're very tasty. They're very dough, insufferable without cream or jam or both. I usually have them with butter. Even without anything, they taste nice to me.
Google says,
right?
ein englischer Crumpet ist ein dicker Pfannkuchen, hergestellt aus Hefeteig mit Milch. Zur Verstärkung der Triebkraft der Hefe wird Backsoda hinzugefügt.
Oh, yeah, talk dirty to me.
Crumpets werden hauptsächlich in Großbritannien, jedoch auch in den ehemaligen Kolonien Großbritanniens verzehrt. Okay, that's enough.
Kade, no kade, no kade.
What?
Kade.
What? What's that? What the fuck are you doing? Fucking British person.
I'm okay now.
Oh my god, okay.
Oh my god, I can't believe Dare said Cumpets. That's literally a child.
The fuck is that? Oh, I see it now.
Cumpet is a child. It's true.
With the broken hearts, I don't know what to do with this. Oh man.
Maybe you should German it up more often.
Crumpets?
Cumpets.
That's what you would call that in German, Crumpets.
It's so stupid, the Cumpet thing, bro.
Der Marcus pets out of overgrown spermatozoide.
Overgrown spermatozoids?
Oh my god, yeah, let me just make an accent out of this. Magdalena might not be so bad after all.
Unless.
For a bloodthirsty vampire, that was, who was meant one day to murder her.
That's so
Maike brought the rim of her teacup to her lips and sipped at the amber liquid within.
Man, the whole thing should be like this because it's set in Germany, so just imagine.
She had half expected to taste astringent of sharp, tangy iron and of blood. But she soon found it was quite inoffensive.
What the fuck is a Sam, bro?
I don't know. Let me look that up too. I'm looking up a lot of shit right now. Oh
my god.
It's tea. It's black tea. It's a sort of tea.
Oh, it's inoffensive.
Maike took another sip of the tea and then another. Oh my god. Though she had meant to be cautious. What if the tea was laced with something? I don't think she cares. She's very naive. Her thirst soon got the better of her, and she drank the whole cup in half a minute. It's too much caffeine for her. Keine Schwarzenegger? Okay, you know what?
The multiple personalities that Kaida already has in your adding.
Yeah, right. Another one. I have like 6 at this point, and I couldn't even count them.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of Cad and Cade? I think I'm actually married to Cade specifically.
I don't remember.
I think it was to Cade. And then Cad is like the Chad of the Kaide-verse.
I think Cade was
the fuckboy.
I thought it was the edgy one.
Oh yeah, the edgy one, right? The personality of Kaide that's like, I'm dead inside.
Yeah, and then Cad was the fuckboy Chad, and that's all that I'm compromised out of.
There's got a bunch more of them, but
new one that has nothing to do with Kaide. Kaide Schwarzenegger? Is that just gonna be me?
But when you're using your German accent.
Yeah, when I'm just speaking German.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Oh my god, okay. Sitting the cup back down on the saucer, Maike then turned her attention upon the scones. She ate delicately, with a pinky raised, taking care not to drop any crumpets upon her lap or the floor, 'cause I would slop that up. Though why did it matter, really, when the carpet beneath her was so worn? Yeah, just put your
Pig
all
out, bro.
over it, Jesus. A few crumbs would hardly spoil the bedroom more than time already had. In fact, they might serve to make the room more homey. Jesus. But then again, perhaps not. It would have been a tall order to breathe even a modicum of life into this room. Micah doubted even Dr. Frankenstein himself could have managed such a feat despite the cadavers he had stitched together and raised from the dead. Micah was so cold, even with the tea on her tongue. She was starting to feel distinctly cadaverous herself. Oh my god, she's so dramatic. She finished her breakfast, then looked about her room once more and settled. No!
Oh my god, girl, can you stop, like, going on?
What if I just summarize it, right?
Basically, her room looks shit, and she's a bit nervous about the whole, being kidnapped thing.
Yeah,
And
right?
she's 8, I guess.
Yeah. She's trying to escape, but she's kind of useless. She stands up, and then all
She's
of a
also got
sudden,
her feet up.
she's nervous, and she grabs the door handle and she turns it, but it doesn't open. The door was locked, and it stubbornly refused to shift. Which Micah had expected. And then she stopped.
She's angry again in the middle of the room. She didn't try that hard.
She really didn't. Alright, next she looks at the window, trying to jump out of it. But she knew it was locked, and she didn't try to break it yet. And also it was too high to jump out of. So, glass is dirty. Garden seems a long way down. There's also fog. She did not like smashing the glass. She fancied even less the thought of jumping to her almost inevitable doom. Fucking petty bitch. Even if she didn't break her spine, it seemed likely she would break an arm or a leg, or both.
Bunch of excuses.
It did not seem like escape was an option, though she had, of course, known that already. Magdalena would not have been that careless. Yeah, go back to the door. Try that again.
Again, just going in circles like a fucking hamster.
She sighed, defeated, and took a seat once upon the bed. It groaned beneath her as though in pain, sounding rather like it wanted to be put out of its misery. Just like me.
Damn, those scones really make you gain weight fast. A moment on the lips, forever on the hips.
Oh. Micah could hardly blame it, given how very old it must have been. She felt distinctly miserable herself, though there was one silver lining, she supposed, to her captivity.
She's now personifying the fucking furniture.
At least Henny was alright. Micah hoped she was alright at least. If she was not, then... But Micah would not allow her to finish this thought. It was too depressing. Rather talk about how depressed the furniture is. So much better.
Escaping would ruin my aura farming of standing still. I'm so dainty and diva. I can't just, it's not possible.
Yeah.
Guys, more of my dick will be forever on your lips. I sure fucking hope so.
Oh, well that sounds quite pleasant, doesn't it? Henny had to be alright. She simply had to. Otherwise, Micah's sacrifice would have been for nothing. Yeah. You're a little bit stupid for sacrificing
Not like Micah
yourself.
would have made it through the forest.
Yeah, true, actually. Okay, why is one of the first messages I see again Autumn screaming at us, y'all sluts?
Autumn, you were the one who suggested it, you stupid little whore.
What the fuck? Feeling the need now to distract herself, Micah started jerking off. She changed...
You come up to someone and they're like, hey, do you want to fuck? And then you're like, sure. And they're like, a slut, horrible fucking prostitute.
It depends on whether you're into that or not. Pastel de puta! She changed, not into her old dirty dress from the day prior, but into one of the new, clean gowns Magdalena had left in her chest of drawers. All neatly pressed frills which smelled only faintly of mold. Yay.
Aww.
Now newly outfitted, Micah paced the room, wondering what she could do.
And you click cards again.
Oh!
Oh! That doesn't look moldy.
No. Looks pretty good. Not a
I
big
still
fan
preferred
of the
her with the silk
stripes,
dress.
but overall, very happy about this.
I like the silk dress more.
Yeah. While living with her parents, Micah's mother had often instructed her to work on her embroidery hoop. Okay, Lady von Essen had thought sewing a suitable pastime for a young woman, that, or playing the piano. Micah's mother had always thought music too passionate to be appropriate, however, and in any case, Micah had never been very good at the piano. She had never been very good at embroidery, either. Actually, she's never really been good at anything, ever.
She's too confused to do anything.
Yeah, Micah had sewn cornflowers and magpies until her fingers had threatened to fall off, until she had become so thoroughly sick of these repetitive patterns that she had felt like hurling her hateful embroidery hoop clean through the window. Through the window. Through the wall. Micah considered herself fortunate indeed that Magdalena hadn't left an embroidery hoop upon her breakfast tray for her. Magdalena might have been a vampire, but at least she wasn't that cruel. Okay, so you put
I wish I was
murder
stuck in
below
Magdalena's
embroidery.
mind right now.
What?
Right. I wish I was stuck in Magdalena's mind right now, actually.
Right? It would probably be a
Must be
lot more
interesting
entertaining.
than right. If you can't have anything more interesting to think about while you're stuck in here, or you can't even time skip.
Right? Oh my god. Mike had stitched enough hateful curly cues to last a lifetime. I'm just hoping that as soon as they have established their personalities a little bit better, they're gonna go more into dialogue.
Oh, please.
Though there was no hoop. And thank goodness for that, there were books. The shelves in Micah's new bedroom were full of them, old and dusty, with worn spines and crinkled pages, but quite readable. I love how she's accepted this as her bedroom. You're still imprisoned.
Well, what else you gonna do? Break the window and free yourself? Huh? Funny.
That would be stupid. Mike perused their spines with the wide, curious eyes of a child, her unfamiliar gown brushing against the unfamiliar floor.
Oh my god, she's gonna read erotica, isn't she?
At least something interesting would happen if she did. Magdalena had told her last night that she might help herself to any of the books upon her shelves, but there were so many of them it was hard to know where to start. As there was nothing else for her to do save sit and worry, Micah decided her time would be better occupied reading. She reached out for a promising book among Magdalena's collection, The Monk by Lewis. She settled herself down upon her bed among the thin covers, then opened the yellowing pages of the old tome. The pages within the leather-bound book crackled like autumn leaves. Oh my god, autumn mention! And Micah had to handle it carefully, lest she tore them. All the wonderful words were still there, however, unblemished by the passing years.
No, the character is not mute. She's very capable of speaking utter dumb shit. She just chose not to.
I think that's kind of what's bothering me so far, because you can absolutely like create all of the storytelling by having dialogue and not just exposition, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of like telling, not showing at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Ah well, we'll keep on going for a while. Because like the dialogue we did have was pretty good, so, you know?
Yeah.
Micah spent the rest of her day reading. It was a good story. She read it a lot. There was a dungeon, which reminded Micah too much of her plight to be fully immersive. She skimmed that shit. Also, there's a vagina, apparently.
Virginal.
Okay, great. It was dark now after she has read a lot.
She spent over like 8 or fucking 10 hours just literally looking at
Right.
that book instead of trying to escape.
There's also a candle now. Small light, but she could read with it. She scanned the pages. She held it up to her nose. She was very enraptured by it. Oh, she did not hear the sound of a key turning in her bedroom door. Actually, I'm gonna be honest, summarizing that shit is so much better.
We never had to do that for Fata Morgana because there was actually stuff happening.
Yes.
Look, I lied. this thing a lot, but it definitely goes on for too long about things that don't
Yeah,
matter.
and I feel like if we can summarize it like this until something interesting happens again,
It feels like we're
I'm
skipping
willing.
out a lot, but at least there's a key turning now. Let's go.
If you want, we can start like actually reading through it again.
The key's turning, Kade.
Oh my god.
Let the key turn.
She did hear the sound of the door creaking open, however, a low guttural sound which split the silence like a moan. Oh my god.
You didn't even hear me moaning. I just moaned so hard.
Oh my god. Micah raised her head, disoriented once more to find herself in Magdalena's home, in the dingy bedroom which Magdalena had prepared for her. Her hostess stood in the doorway, shockingly fair and white in the gloaming, returned perhaps to make good on her initial promises.
Looked
To
exactly
have
the same as yesterday.
sex. Does she mean to kill Micah at last?
Walks in and says that. Sex.
Me when I have to do a specified amount of work on an essay. Oh my god, yes!
Jesus.
Me when I read a fanfiction, I need to fill words. Micah had but a scant 10 pages left to read. She read an entire book of that book. Yet she feared she would not see how his life would end. Oh my god. Her own existence would come to a close before that of the vile monk. You're so dramatic.
Yes, that's why you were fed this morning and also clothed and everything.
Yes. Micah supposed she could slip past Magdalena, then make a hasty retreat. But no, she had dwaddled for too long. And honestly, if you're gonna try to escape now while your captor's in the room, who also has superhuman strength...
She has latex pants on.
Yes, that is the most threatening part.
Sorry.
Like, it's so stupid. You could have also just kicked in the window earlier, or, like, tried to actually break down the door. Like, running away now? That is dangerous. That is stupid.
I love how her corset looks so bad.
Me too. I love how it hugs her boobs, and I also love how her boobs are not unproportionately big. They're actually decently sized. I love that.
She just looks really good in general.
Yes! Magdalena had already locked the door behind her. Oh, and now surveyed Micah with a detached sort of amusement. Good evening to you. It feels like it's been a while since I last saw you. Did you enjoy the breakfast I brought to you?
No, it fucking sucked. I disgusted it. I spit it out.
She's blushing immediately. What the fuck?
Oh, yes, thank you for your kindness. I didn't expect you to be so considerate.
You believed that I would let you starve?
Yes, I mean, no.
Magdalena tittered, her red eyes sharp and knowing. Please, I'm not that cruel. I have been brought more food for you. I have even brought more food for you. Look, it had been a while since breakfast, and I thought you might be hungry. Now that Magdalena mentioned it, Micah could see it in her hands that she held another tray, much like the one she had brought earlier.
You didn't see it before?
I was about to mention that. This tray was laden with another teapot and a teacup, and a plate upon which sat a meat pie, still steaming, and some vegetables. The food smelled surprisingly delicious in the derelict air of Micah's bedroom, and Micah almost embarrassed at how hungry she was. Why, she was almost salivating.
Girl.
Oh my god. Magdalena looped over to Micah, the tray in hand, then inclined her head to the bedside table. Would you mind moving that? I can't set the tray down otherwise.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Micah moved her breakfast tray onto her lap, to which Magdalena courtesied, playing once more at being a maid. Much obliged, young madam. I'll take that away soon, but first, let's have sex.
Oh.
Magdalena unburdened herself at the dinner tray, and observed Micah, one hand resting upon her hip. Are you all right?
I just choked a little bit. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I've forgotten all my transatlantic training. Poppycock. That's all I know. Alright, give me a second to jot this down in my head. That seems an odd sort of question, don't you think?
Just hit my
Do you-
elbow. Sorry.
Getting into it, you slut. I've lost it. Do you believe anybody would be alright were they in my shoes?
I hope you aren't wearing any shoes. Not in bed. They were filthy when you arrived here and quite caked in dirt.
You were looking at my feet?
Yeah.
I didn't mean it literally.
Sorry, I'm autistic. I know. I was just teasing.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't.
Well, fuck you.
Yes!
Oh my god, hi Sam! Welcome in. Trigger warnings for this games are homosexuality. Be warned.
There's also blood now and then.
Yeah, it's not strong though.
boy.
Oh my god! Sam Raid.
Shoe!
Sam Raid. Sam.
I
Okay,
love
let's
you,
continue
Bushy.
this shit.
How was stream, Sam? Yes.
Yes.
Go on.
Well, now there's a bigger audience. Now I'm scared.
Don't be scared. You're good at this. Just try to ignore my transatlantic bullshit. Why was stream sad?
Why? Are you afraid you might grow to appreciate our little spats? Oh my god, she's so desperate.
Hardly. I fail to see the need to converse with my captor, that's all.
Thank you so much for the follow. Oh, how
Waffling
fiery you
dialogue.
are. I'd almost forgotten. You look so very wan, you know, and wary too. The bags beneath your eyes are terrifying. They're almost black. Did you not get much sleep last night?
There were bugs on the bed.
Right?
There was no sexy French lady. Where?
What?
What the fuck? Oh yes, good homework. Have a good homework. Are you studying right now? I tried. I failed.
Yeah, because I wasn't there. I take it you had a lot on your mind. I don't know if she's actually troubled or if she's faking it right now.
She's finding amusement in it, but she's also intrigued, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But not that this should come as a surprise.
You're thinking about your own fate?
That, and the fate of my parents. Henny, too.
You're still fussing about that silly maid of yours.
Are you jealous?
I have no idea why you care so much. It's most unusual. None of the ladies I knew growing up were half so besotted with their servants. They treated them more like their livestock than people.
Henny is more than a maid to me. She's...
Your girlfriend? Your friend? Yes, you said. How touching.
How about we touch?
Now why don't you eat something? You must be hungry.
Oh, have a good math.
Oh my god, have
Have
fun
the best
doing
math
math.
I am, yes. But where did this food come from? You would have no need of it, surely.
Oh, I have my ways. Magdalena smiled knowingly. There are merchants who sometimes travel through these woods, and quite fortuitously I happened to pass one by when I went for a walk in the early hours of this morning.
Did you eat him?
Perchance, this food I procured from them.
You did not buy it.
Why the fuck would I do that? I'm a vampire.
Do you have no money? Are you poor?
I am. I did not need to. I can be very persuasive when I wish to be. It's one of the many perks of being a member of the noble undead.
What? Do not tell me that you...
Micah, you should be over this. Slaughtered him?
Slaughtered
Oh
him.
no.
That's yours.
I don't kill indiscriminately. Only men.
Oh yes, okay, that makes it all better.
I'm not a brute, no matter what you might think of me. And my hunger has already been satiated, for the present, by last night's feast.
I was on your pussy all night.
Oh my god. I used nothing
Or-
so nefarious as my powers of flattery. You sucked them off!
I thought you were a Labenian.
It is not so hard, to bend men to your will. Not when you smile at them and you remember to bat your eyelashes. Oh my god, she's a whore. He had him prepare enough food to keep you going for a few days in a knapsack, plus some eggs and flour, the basic amenities, then bade him a fond farewell. You think she lied? Because I feel like that's not something she... I mean, okay, maybe she would do that, but like, what if she saw Micah's reaction and was like, okay, I backpedal?
I think she genuinely is telling the truth because she's been so truthful this far.
Fair, actually.
She's been really honest.
She's so me.
She's kind of like
This
you,
is, yeah. Sucks. Why did they make a character that's just me?
Every white-haired character is just you. This is not surprising.
Shut up. Was Michelle me? I was kind of... Yes! Why do I even ask?
Michelle was so gender and autism and awkwardness.
Shut up.
Slut would do anything for scones. The scones are that good. Come on, man.
He shall recall our meeting as little more than a dream.
Oh, she used her vampire, like, hallucination manipulation powers. That's what happened.
Does that satiate your curiosity?
Not only. For the moment.
I can show you my boobs if that would help.
I suppose. Yes!
Good. You have such a lot of questions, Micah. Not that I mind them. It's nice to meet a woman so inquisitive.
It's nice to meet a woman in general.
Right. Now do eat up. I am sure that your dear Henny would not want you starving yourself. Micah did not much like the thought of eating in front of Magdalena, but she supposed her captor had a point. It was foolish to go without sustenance, especially when it smelled so tantalizing. Micah set her dinner tray upon her lap, then she began to eat. She dug into the meat pie with her knife and fork, which were darkly tarnished. Micah feared that the cutlery would somehow contaminate her food, but she was too hungry to fret overly long about this possibility.
She's blushing.
Yeah, right.
Again.
Why are you blushing? It's just food.
She's a bit embarrassed. Oh.
Sorry. Micah popped a piece of meat pie into her mouth and chewed. And as she did, Magdalena watched. Why would you do that?
Yes. That would creep me out so bad.
Right? Magdalena's red eyes were wide, as though she was observing something very interesting. An exotic animal in a cage, perhaps. Or a reaction between two volatile chemicals. Micah did not think the act of her eating was so very special, but it must have been different to Magdalena. As a vampire, Magdalena had no need to partake in meat pies or vegetables. Was that why the simple act of Micah eating enticed her so?
Maybe she's just literally wondering, does it taste nice?
Oh my god. Like, literally, did I cook it well?
Just
Do
give
you
us
like
a compliment.
it?
Just one.
As Micah ate, horribly self-conscious of Magdalena's stare, what if she were to drop any food on her front? The vampire began to talk. During dinner? Unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I was able to observe one of your kind going about your day-to-day life. On the rare occasion I'm able to witness you, you're always in pain, screaming and crying and begging for your lives.
That's definitely going to work up an appetite for her.
That is rather entertaining in its own right, but sometimes I forget you are more than just prey. You have thoughts of your own, when they aren't being disturbed by physical discomfort. You eat food, you read books, and you have friends. Dreams too. It's hard to believe it now, but once I wasn't always so different to you. That was a very, very long time ago, though. Micah detected, while sipping her tea, a note of longing in Magdalena's voice.
I would like to point out that this vamp lives worse than a hobo and you're still thirsting. This is an examination of poor taste in romantic partners. This is examination of women.
Yes. I don't care. I don't have taste. I don't have taste. My taste is woman.
And she's slightly, like, cannibalistic and she's a little bit edgy. Come on.
Like, she would bite you hard and then lick the blood off.
At least she has property, even if it's literally falling apart and there's bugs everywhere.
Right? Imagine owning a mansion in this day and age.
Odd, especially because it wasn't in this day and age, but
Okay,
doesn't
shut
matter.
up. Her hostess's expression was inscrutable, but her ruby eyes were very soft, the pale lashes that framed them trembling, as though from the force of her own emotions.
Redder than a has-been hotel character.
Had Micah not been afraid of Magdalena, she might have sympathized with her. For a few brief moments Magdalena appeared, for all the years she had lived and all of the hurt she had caused, to be a young girl, younger even than Micah herself. Not for the first time, Micah wondered how old Magdalena had been when she had been turned. Her face was so smooth, so devoid of blemishes. She could not yet have been in her 20s. Kind of disgusting. She would have been 18 or 19, if that. It seemed a woefully young age to be consigned to an undying, eternal life of blood-sucking, which reminded Micah.
Aren't you going to bite me yet? You said that you would. I've been waiting all day. Why am I here if not for you to devour me?
Why haven't you, bitten me yet, bitch? Get to it.
That part owning a mansion would be the bare minimum. Imagine being immortal and having zero property. Ultimate failure.
Actually, yeah.
Or does the government just not care to tear it down? They probably don't want to because she kind of murders people.
Fair. Honestly, if I was a vampire in this day and age, I'd open a Tumblr and do thirst traps and do porn of that or something.
I was a vampire in this day and age, I still would be living in an apartment.
Yes, that also. Okay. Oh. Magdalena blinked, and when she did, the sentimentality which had once pooled in her irises dispersed.
I like how she was opening up about something, and bitch was like, "So are you gonna bite me or not?"
Right. Newly amused, the young woman smiled and said, "You said that yesterday too, after I brought you to this chamber. Are you that desperate for me to drain your blood?"
Absolutely. I mean, no, I'm not.
Oh wait, that's you.
Of course I don't want you to drain my blood. I'd really rather you didn't, but if you were to do it anyway, I fail to see why you should drag things out for so long. Unless you want to make me squirm.
Yes, but only in bed, baby girl.
Youch.
Making you squirm does sound like too awful a proposition, really. You're quite charming when you're sitting, and even when you're eating. You women can pull that off, you know. But you manage it. You eat with such small, considerate bites, like a little fairy.
Oh my gosh, she's so dainty.
I imagine you would be lovelier still when squirming, particularly if your face is as red as it is now.
Just full on flirting.
Or now, even. Oh my god!
Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
Magdalena leaned in, grinning wickedly. Her sharp incisors on prominent display, and curled her fingers beneath Micah's chin.
Yes!
Their faces were now scant centimeters apart, the noses almost brushing. Micah was suddenly abashedly aware of her breath, which must have smelled of meat and pastry. Self-conscious, her face burned redder still, like a furnace, as though to entice Magdalena.
I'm perfectly fine, dear Daddy.
Her heart hammered
really
so very
gay.
hard she could feel it at the base of her throat, inside her skull. Could Magdalena hear it too? Why did she feel so unnerved?
Oh my god.
If she had been only afraid, that would have been understandable, but the sensation which coiled in the pit of Micah's stomach seemed compromised of more than that. Her brow began to sweat, as did her palms. Tremulous as a leaf, she found she could not meet Magdalena's gaze. "Yes, you are lovely." Magdalena spoke, her voice appraising as she tipped Micah's head back, her eyes roving not over Micah's face, but the slender column of her neck, and the delicate blue veins which crisscrossed it.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I would have no the fuck? Do not put those words in here! It's cock blocking me.
Yeah, I'm so happy right now.
I would have no compunctions about sinking my teeth into that throat of yours. Your skin is so very warm, it is as though you are trying to entice me. You look utterly delectable. But I will abstain for now. You are
No, I mean,
so very lovely, it would seem like a waste. Almost to drain you right now. I would prefer to savor your demise like a fine wine. There's little sense in being overly hasty. And, in any event, I'm not that desperate. I can abstain. I must. A muscle tightened in Magdalena's jaw and her eyes grew hard, just like two stones. I have managed for long enough as it is. I would not wish to have all my efforts undone.
what?
Micah blinked at Magdalena, her eyes uncomprehending.
Will you not drink my blood then,
She's
girl?
still
She's just like me.
No, I won't. Not tonight. You may rest easy one night more, dear Micah. Your death is still a ways off.
How far exactly?
That depends.
Upon?
Oh, I don't know. My own mood, and the movements of the moon, and how long you continue to entertain me, I suppose. I quite like the idea, you see, of having another woman in this castle I can speak to. Perhaps you can tell me about the books you have been reading when next we meet? I would love to hear your opinions.
A man would never say that.
Right? Though, of course, there isn't a single book in this castle I've not read at least thrice over myself. There isn't much to do, really, when one has been dead for as long as I have. So saying...
Do you want me to take over the narration?
Sure.
So saying, Magdalena retrieved the tray from the floor laden with Micah's breakfast things, then straightened. She cast one last, almost longing look at Micah, who shuddered beneath it, her cheeks blushing anew like the skin of an apple. Before, with what might have been a sigh or a sob, Magdalena turned. She unlocked the door with one hand, the keys dull and matte in the candlelight, then exited, taking the tray with her.
Can we talk about how she said something? Oh my god, get that picture
Oh,
again.
not this again.
Can we talk about how she said something about having restrained herself so far? And like
And
kind
she
of
went,
like
I must.
yeah, it's very interesting because first of all, that kind of sounds to me like she's been incredibly desperate to just pounce on Micah for the last day.
It sounds like maybe she had a past lover to me,
That also,
who she didn't
actually.
restrain herself around.
Oh my
Maybe
god, that would be good plot.
that would be kind of angsty.
That would be really good.
Just the vibe I got, but it's still quite early to tell.
Yeah, it's just I just wanted to
Yeah.
to point it out because I was like, oh my god, it's kind of oh my god.
Blood transmission diseases. Jesus Christ. Me when I drink some bleach and then I allow a vampire to suck me off.
What the fuck? There's many
Anyway,
ways
though.
to kill a vampire. Apparently, sex is one of them.
That's so sad. Micah passed that night much as she had the previous one, namely by laying abed in the nightgown Magdalena had bequeathed her, trying and failing to sleep. You should just probably close your eyes instead of laying like that.
Right?
Thoughts of her parents continued to play upon her mind, and of her own fate, and more pressingly even than any of that of Henny. Micah wanted to believe that Henny at least had been able to escape. She wanted to believe that Henny would continue to live. She would go far from Magdalena's dreary home within the woods, and one day she would meet a nice man, and they would marry, and she would have children. Henny would be happy, whilst Micah would soon be reduced to a pallid, wizened corpse drained of all its blood. But was such a fate so different from the one she would have afforded if she had wed Walter? Micah might, in a perverse way, have been better off as Magdalena's captive than she would Walter's bride, At least here in Magdalena's home, she had a bed to herself. It was an aged bed, yes, which creaked beneath her weight, but it was hers. There was no danger of Walter, or anybody else for that matter, joining her.
That is actually, oh my god,
Hmm.
the danger of Walter joining her.
It's depressing.
Jesus.
The fact that she already trusts Micah, like, or Magdalena rather, not to, like, shuffle into bed and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, she literally
Which is so
pointed that
nice.
out, right? She literally
Yeah.
went, I will not be doing this to you.
He would never say something like that. Jesus Christ, I hate Walter. He's not even, like, been here yet, but I just hate him.
Right? We don't know shit about him other than Micah's
I can already
frustrator.
assume that he's not going to be a good character, though.
Yeah. Like,
He's probably
just.
going to try to kill Magdalena at some point.
Ooh, plot twist.
Hmm.
I would love that. I
Oh.
want to see Magdalena tear out his throat.
Oh my god, that would be so good. I love that. I love when lesbians do that to men. Maybe the trigger warning should be us.
Yeah, right?
Me after injecting garlic into my veins. Oh my god, you should inject me into your veins and I'll bite the
No!
vampire.
Do not do that. It will give you
All the blood cells will eat the vampire.
kidaritis.
No, not kidaritis. If Micah was to die in this bed, then so be it. Well, you might if you fucking do that shit, bro. She would welcome it.
If she keeps on asking Magdalena to bite her like 3 more times, I think it's gonna happen.
Literally.
Imagine. No, okay, but I'm gonna be so honest. If Magdalena, if Micah was laying in this bed like that and going, "Are you not gonna bite me?" I would cave. What the fuck?
You're gonna when? Like when? I'm assuming she might just like ask every night, and then on the one night she doesn't ask, it happens or something.
Oh my god.
That'd be kind of hot. Sorry. You would definitely be asking for consent before she bites Micah, though.
Yeah, I feel like she would. I mean, she already established a line of consent before even like considering anything beyond captor and captive.
Either that or Micah would fully go, "You have to do it right now."
Oh my god. I feel like wait, we already established Micah power bottom, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Beautiful. I
If
love
Henny
it.
was all right, then she did not care what happened to herself. Her own life was, and always had been, unimportant. Damn. Oh my god.
You can
Micah
handle
slept
this how you
poorly
want
that
to.
night. I got it, don't you worry. Then she was not the only one. Unbeknownst to Micah, Henny was finding it similarly hard to escape into the warm embrace of sleep. Henny's day had been a busy one, and still she was reeling from it all. Sitting upright in her own bed, Henny found herself turning the events of her own day over in her mind. Oh, oh. No, you didn't override our save.
Sorry.
Henny! It had been in the very early hours of the morning that Henny had finally made her way back to Augsburg, transported there by the kindly merchant she— oh, it's the same one! At least I think so. She had met during her meanderings in the forest. Henny had thanked the merchant profusely for his help, and had then set about looking for Walter Gerdart's home. Henny knew its location well, though she had only been there twice before. It was a large, imposing building, one of the finest in the vicinity, which could have rivaled the Von Essen home, but it was more modern in construction. It was not the sort of house one could forget in a hurry. The sun had begun to rise in increments as Henny walked through Augsburg streets, and it turned into a marvelous shade of pinkish red as Henny arrived at Walter Gerhardt's doorstep. The sunrise was very beautiful, but Henny hadn't been afforded the time to gawp and stare. She had more important matters to attend to. Walter's maids had been beginning to stir when Henny set her knuckles to the door and rapped. She rapped?
Oh my god, imagine.
Yo, give me a beat. And then she just starts fucking throwing. That's so funny. Sorry. All the while that she would be taken for a beggar and turned away for rapping at the door.
Oh my god.
Yo, it's Lil Hen here.
Gonna tell you a story about how I got captured.
Boom, boom, boom. Henny's clothes, once neatly pressed, had endured quite the battering during her wanderings in the woods. Her apron had been torn and flecked with dirt, and the soles of her shoes were encrusted with the stuff, and also her, blister that popped. Her, Jesus.
Don't remind me,
Henny's...
I'm eating.
What the fuck? Henny's cheeks and hands had been marred with cuts, and her fingernails had been rendered opaque with mud. She had looked so very grimy she would not have been at all surprised if Walter's servants had called the bailiffs on her. What the fuck? Her appearance had not been one which would inspire confidence, nor invitations inside Walter's spacious drawing room. Henny had fretted that Walter's housekeeper might send her away in disgrace. Despite her fears, however, Henny had refused to move. It had been too important that she speak to Walter, that she speak to somebody. She had known as she stood there that she needed somebody to listen to her. Henny had knocked and knocked, her knuckles sore against the wood, until her rapping had finally made someone wake the fuck up.
He's just sitting there for like half an hour, just rapping all the time.
Oh my god. I made a little shoddy in the woods. She took my girlfriend away. I love it. Go on, go on. The door had opened, and before Henny stood Walter's housekeeper, a tall, austere woman called Gertrude. Can you say her name?
Gertrude Schreiber.
Oh my god, that's so hot. Whom Henny had met twice before. Henny had recognized Gertrude in all her straight blonde hair. For a housekeeper, she was unusually young, but it had taken Gertrude several months longer to recognize Henny.
Well, that's just kind, isn't it?
Damn. She had appeared ready to slam the door in Henny's begrimed face, her expression one of revulsion, until Henny called out to her.
Oh shit, I'm Henny. Oh, please, don't be alarmed. I know what I look like, but I'm not a beggar. It's me, Henrika. It's not her voice. let me channel my Henny.
Oh my god, it's so deep. Hydrate.
Oh fuck, okay.
Thank you, Sonny. Oh, sorry, it's not Sonny. I completely read the wrong message. Thank you, Outlaw. I almost just choked on my water because of my mistake. Don't mind me.
I would have loved to see you choke.
I don't even know what kind of voice to give Gertrude though. Definitely can't do German.
I know, just add a funky voice. Like just do something. It's a side character. Just do something funky. Like a squeaky voice or something.
Okay.
It's me, Henrika, Lady Micah's maid. I've come here on her behalf to let you know there's been an accident, a horrible accident. She's fallen to a lesbian. I need to speak to your master at once. It's very important. Please, let me have a word with her. You not switch German and English? It fucks up my brain. Please, let me have a word with Herrn Gerhard. Wasn't even right.
Henny's cries for help must have been effusive enough to thaw even Gertrude's icy exterior, for the housekeeper's expression had eventually softened. Thwenian? Absolutely not. Gertrude promised in clipped tones that she would allow Henny to speak to her master, but not before she made herself presentable. Yes, thank.
Oh my god, wait, we get a PNG?
Ooh, Gertrude. We're not getting an actual Gertrude? That's a shame.
We are. We're just in front of it. Wait. Can't you see it?
I can, but I don't know why we didn't get her just like standing next to Henny or something.
Oh, I don't know. Wait, let me show chat.
She's just a little one.
Chat. Oh my god. Chat, guys. Look, it's her. She's there,
There you go. I just got left behind for a sec.
Fuck her.
Oh man.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm thinking. Oh god, this is making me nervous. Looks like that one Pokemon Evil Mother. Who the fuck are you talking about?
You mean
Not this
Cynthia?
female Pokemon.
You mean Cynthia? Wait.
Oh.
Wait. Cynthia. Oh, yeah, Pokemon. Let me very professionally pull up a picture of her. Yes. Add URL. Well, that did not work.
Nor mother nor evil. Alright, fine.
She's mommy though?
I
She
don't care
is
what it is
kind of
you've
mommy
been-
though. Who's
It's
Mother
my-
Evil?
Smack you in a minute.
What?
She's mommy though. Let me do my thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The outlaw's laughing at me now because of you. I'm embarrassing myself.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is you've been through. You might have been savaged by wolves in the woods for all I care.
Okay, I'll fuck with this.
Whatever it is you have endured, I will not let you see my master like that. It would reflect poorly upon me as his housekeeper if I let all the riffraff of the streets into his home. I spit on you.
Man, I would like that.
Luzamine? What the fuck is Luzamine? I'm so sick and tired of not knowing anything.
Yeah, me, I don't know that either. Don't worry.
You'll need a bath first, at the very least. You disgust me. And we must do something about your clothes, too.
Wait, but technically, shouldn't you be able to tell that she is a rich bitch by the fact that she is not thin as a stick? Right? I think this was back in the age where having food was still a privilege, a luxury.
Damn, Kaide.
What?
Would you feed me back then?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'd keep you like a little worm and I'd feed you all the little... I don't know what worms eat.
I've never wanted to be a worm more than now. Jesus, I read this one good. Why, you look as though you've been dragged through a hedge backwards.
Kinda accurate. And he tried to impress upon Gertrude the importance of, of what it was she had to communicate. There are things more important than clothes, but Gertrude, being Gertrude, had none of it. Icily unimpressed by Henny's pleas, Gertrude had made it clear that Henny would have a bath, at least, before she would be allowed within spitting distance of her master.
This is a great privilege, you know. Hot water is a rare commodity. My own girls are not often afforded this luxury. You ought to be grateful.
Yes, ma'am. I shall be grateful, ma'am.
Oh my god.
Annie was grateful, she supposed, that Gertrude had allowed her into the Gerhardt home at all, but she had been less so at her insistence that her news could wait until all the dirt had been scrubbed from between her fingers and toes. And he had known full well, while she bathed, that Micah could have been languishing in a prison cell, or worse, being put to death. If only she knew.
It has been says we engage in
Yeah. It had taken almost 2 hours before Gertrude was satisfied with Henny's appearance, at which point the sun had risen and the last vestige of the night had been swept away. Henny had not been permitted. God. Henny had not been permitted a chance to sleep throughout the night, save for the brief spell where she had been unconscious in Magdalena's cell. Though neither after her bath, her skin washed free of filth and her body shrouded in a clean uniform identical to the one which Walter's serving drudges wore, Henny still felt exhausted to the point of delirium. Henny had been so tired she had feared she would collapse before she was able to properly explain to Walter the danger his fiancée had found herself in. But Henny had known that she had to try. Oh my god!
Oh god, I can't voice a man.
It's okay, I take the man.
Last time.
I take a man. Also, Henny's squishing her boobs. Love that.
I love that for her.
Right?
I'm also doing that at the moment.
Oh my god.
Oh, it is comfortable.
It had been a little after 9 o'clock that Henny had been permitted entry to Walter Gerhardt's study, wherein she had found the master of the manor, cleanly shaven and sipping a cup of tea. Will you not talk about how shaved he is, please? Walter had seemed surprised to see Henny and had regarded her initially with some confusion.
Straight out of Castlevania.
He does! Oh my god! Goodness me, I didn't...
Oh.
I'm gonna make him like really, really German. It's gonna be really uncomfortable to listen to unless you read it. Goodness me, I did not think when Gertrude said I had a visitor, it would be you. You are
Yeah.
You are Frau Henrike, correct? My Maike's maid.
Bro's too distracted by those tiniest.
Henny had not liked the way that Walter had said my Maike. The wedding had yet to be held, and now perhaps it never would be, but she had swallowed her distaste regardless. She had always been trying to tell Micah, after all, that she could be happy at her future wedding to Walter.
Alucard's shit cousin, what the fuck?
Oh my god, he does look like that, I'm not gonna lie. Walter was a good man, Henny had told herself, a gentleman despite his lowly origins. Jesus. He had been born from nothing and, with a series of shrewd investments, had built himself an empire. He is Jacopo! No!
Just say kind of like Jacopo, but he also just looks like a very unfortunate, like, wish version of Asterion.
He does.
So sad.
It's like an evil mix of Asterion and Alucard. He cared for Micah. The possessive manner in which he spoke of her proved it. And he would surely rush to her side once he knew of her plight. I'm betting he's just gonna go, oh well, guess not. And then Henny is gonna run back to the mansion.
Either that or Henny's gonna have to kind of convince him.
Yeah.
Or his, like, manly possessiveness is gonna win out.
Yeah, actually,
But
yeah.
I doubt that it will this early in the game.
That had been Henny's hope, at least, as she stood in Walter's study.
Yes, that is... Oh.
No.
Yes, that is right. Good heart. I am Henrique. I'm flattered that a great man such as you remembers a lowly maid like me.
But of course I remember you. We've not been afforded the opportunity to speak, but you and Micah are as sick as thieves.
Yes, sick as thieves for sure.
One can scarcely be seen without the other. In that sense, you're very like a pair of conjoined twins.
That's so romantic.
Actually, it's kind of nice that he accepts that. You could be a modern medical marvel, almost. Walter had laughed at this, a sound which had seemed rather inappropriate to Henny, after she had endured so many horrors the night prior. Walter had
just
not
made himself laugh.
Right. Walter had not yet known, of course, about the bandits and the bloody violence they had wrought in Magdalena. But Henny thought he could at least have looked concerned that his fiancée, who had been supposed to visit him the day prior, was nowhere in evidence. Yeah, right! Oh my god, I forgot about that. She was supposed to be there, and he's just like, oh, wait, you're the maid?
Great value Asterion. Talking about Baldur's Gate. I've played the game, by the way, just not fully.
I've roped Kid into it for some time.
I could actually probably play it properly now that my PC actually works.
True. Did he not care that Micah had vanished, seemingly into thin air? Perhaps he had consoled himself, as all men of great import do, that nothing had gone wrong. That nothing could go wrong, given his vast riches. He must have reassured himself the night prior that Micah's carriage had been waylaid by some innocent purpose, perhaps a faulty wheel or a need for a new horse.
It's not really that I didn't like it, Maxie. It's more so like, it made me anxious to have to make choices, and it was so realistic that people had genuine reactions to those choices, and then the characters you're trying to, like, you know, actually, like, romance and stuff like that also have reactions to those choices, and it's a lot of things that could go wrong, and I'm already struggling with that in real life. I play video games to escape that. So, you know, it made it very difficult to, you know, I know the game is not all that, but it's mostly that, which makes it hard for me to play because I get nervous.
Yeah, I get that too. It's actually one of the reasons I don't want to play many choice games. God, what's it called? And strange. Life is Strange.
Mm.
I could never. Like, I know,
Yeah, that
like,
and
it's
what's it
probably
called?
an
Detroit.
amazing. Yeah, it's probably an
Mm.
amazing game, but I don't want my choices to have an effect on the story because I want to see the story that I want to see, right? Like, I want to see the route that I want to see, so I have to go in ahead of the time and look up what the route is I want to play, and at that point, it's no fun anymore. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's like a lot
Too
of
anxious to otherwise go in
exactly,
blind and everything.
a lot of anxiety.
Didn't like the big aspect? I guess not. That's a lot of the game is just like that. I'd like to play it because the characters are so cool, and D&D is so cool, and I love the like everything else about it. But it's just that, the talking to other people and having to make choices is such a big part of the game. I can't handle it. I'm anxious enough as it is in real life. You know what I mean? It goes over to the game
But that
universe,
could
unfortunately.
actually get better if we play it together because then we can talk about the choices we make. You know?
It would be better with someone else for sure, because I
Yeah.
cannot do my own playthrough of that. It's too,
Yeah.
I'm too nervous.
Alright.
I'll be right back. Sorry, I just have to let my cat out.
Oh my god. Fucking leaving me? This is what I get from being married. This is horrible. Wait, I forgot who wanted to leave the marriage. I remember that with Autumn, I definitely wanted to leave the marriage because Autumn is horrible in a marriage. Autumn is scary. Autumn chased me down with an axe because I wasn't in bed on time.
That's true. I was there. Oh, but yeah. Oh my god, sorry. If I don't let my cat out, he scratches the door and it's incredibly annoying.
No, don't worry. You're good. Don't worry. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I was the one who was keeping Kit in this marriage.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, where were
We're
we?
talking about the marriage. I didn't even
Yeah.
realize.
Alright.
We're still married, by the way.
Yeah, we are.
Very good.
Yeah. He had not, after all, been worrying of Micah and her welfare. He did not care. Speaking of which,
Oh.
Walter had leaned forward in his chair, his laughter ceasing to examine Henny with a newfound degree of thought. I do not see your twin with you right now. Is my lovely Micah not in your company?
About that.
Oh, don't tell me she felt sick on the journey here. That would be truly heartbreaking. I'd hate to think of my dear fiancé convalescing in some miserable inn on the roadside. No, that isn't quite it. Oh, wait, that's you.
Henny, what happened to you? You've been infected by the German plague. No, that isn't quite it. You see,
Then she is not sick. Oh my god, will you let her speak?
bro, interrupting.
Where the devil is she then? Wait, I love that. Is that an expression? Where the devil?
Yeah, where the devil is she, or where the devil, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
what in the devil are you doing?
Because I think I know what in the devil, but not where the devil.
Hmm.
Because that would be a direct translation from a German saying that says "Wo zum Teufel," which is this is perfect.
Oh, that was so hot.
I thought they had that implemented, but sadly no. Did she send you here, Frau Henrike, to break my heart in her stead?
Bro.
It seems unlike Michael, her being one of the fairest of her sex, but if her
Ew.
parents are having second thoughts...
It isn't that either. Lady Micah's not sick, but I'm afraid she might be. And irreversibly so if you don't do nothing to save her. Oh, her good heart, you little bitch. Awful what happened, you'd hardly believe it. If you'd seen what I'd seen, if you knew what I knew, then... It was horrible. It was simply horrible, like something from a nightmare. We were traveling through the woods. I fucking hate his name. The Von Essens and me, your Micah included, when we were set upon by bandits. They stormed the carriage and they demanded... I don't rightly remember, but they asked for all sorts. They asked for jewels, and when that weren't enough, they went after the gold. And when that weren't enough, they took out their blades and...
By Jove. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Walter's face, by this point, had turned very pale, all traces of merriment summarily dispersed.
It was pale before.
They didn't harm my Micah, did they?
What about everyone else? They meant to, her good heart, but they couldn't finish the job.
Just like me.
They made short work of Lord and Lady Von Essen, and their coachman too, the poor bastard, but they didn't get their grubby hands on Lady Micah. I saw to that. I took her hand during the hubbub and led her into the woods. We ran and we ran and we ran, but the bandits were fast and they gained on us. I feared all was lost, but then...
Walter leaned closer still, almost driving his elbow into his half-drunk cup of Earl Grey as he did so. What happened, Frau Henrike? Surely you and Micah must have survived, else you would not be standing here now. Looking shaken, I admit, but in one piece. Please, tell me Micah was all right.
That is to say...
Annie had thought of nothing save talking to Walter Gerhard ever since her flight from Magdalena's abode, but at this crucial moment she had found herself quite at a loss. How could she tell Walter Gerhard of Magdalena? It sounded ridiculous, the sort of tale which could only exist within the pages of Penny Dreadfuls. Just lie, man. Just say it's like another set of thieves.
Just taken captive.
Yeah. Dracula was a well-known figure even among the literati, who considered Gothic horror beneath them, but he had no place in polite society. One did not simply discuss vampires out in the open, in oak-paneled studies such as Walter's. Not too well-dressed, wealthy men who had made their fortunes in mundane affairs like the railways. Oh my god, this literally is!
Maybe they were inspired by that story.
Could be. Annie did not know Walter particularly well, but she could tell from his clothes and his demeanor that he fancied himself a staunch rationalist. It had been immediately obvious that such a man would never hold with vampires. Even Henny herself, being born to a superstitious mother who wore about her neck a lucky rabbit's foot, could scarcely credit what she had seen. It had been blatantly unbelievable. She would not have believed it, were she in Walter's position, but she had no choice but to, after all, she had witnessed it. She had seen those bandits torn to pieces before her eyes, smelt their blood and heard their screams. The deaths had imprinted themselves upon her eyelids with a tableau. She saw it when she blinked, her thoughts steeped in crimson. How could she make Walter see what she had seen? How could she make him understand?
Not help.
What?
Probably standing there completely silently is not helping.
Right. And he had feared it would be a tall order, particularly given her limited vocabulary. Mike had always been better at describing things than she. But she had known she had to try, yes. As there was nothing else for it, Henny had forced herself to swallow down her anxiety. It had tasted, strangely enough, of cold liver oil. The fuck? And begin her missive. She told Walter of the mysterious woman who had come to their rescue, who had pulverized the skulls and the spines of the pursuing bandits as a child might crumple crepe paper. She told him of waking in a darkened cell with only one window of meeting Magdalena, and of the ultimatum Micah had struck with her. And he had relayed a good deal of information to Walter, and as she had seen him shifting. Walter had examined her, not with fear, as she had hoped, but with something far harder to ascertain. Was it perplexity, perhaps? Or worse, pity? And he had known, even before Walter spoke, that it was a lost cause. Convincing Walter of Micah's plight had been her only task, and she had failed. She had not been able to sway him. He had not believed her. That is quite the tale, Frau Henrike.
No, it isn't a tale, it's true. I tell you, every last word of it. Lady Micah has been imprisoned by a vampire and...
If I don't act, and quickly, she will be drained of all blood and will soon die. Yes, I did hear. That would be awful indeed, were it true, but... Oh, that's you.
It is true, Herr Gerhardt. I swear it's true on my own man's life. I wouldn't tell such a great pack of fibs. Not over something so important.
I can't imagine that you would, no. I know little of you, but I am aware of your loyalty to my Maike. She trusts you with her life, or so I've gathered, more so than she trusts me. She flinches away from all of my caresses, but she isn't half so cold toward your affections, because you're a man, a strange man.
And I bet you didn't even try and get to know her or anything like that before
Right.
you caressed her, as they say.
I'm pretty sure they have established that they've seen each other twice. You don't start caressing
Still
people.
gonna caress her?
Yeah, no.
Then surely you must be able to see that I'm being honest. This is a matter of life and death. My lady's very life is at stake.
Yes, indeed. I understand. That's you.
Will you send out a search party then? It isn't too late. Micah's life might still be spared if only you act.
I suppose it would be in your best interest to believe that, yes? Dum spiro spero and all that.
The fuck does that mean? I beg your pardon?
Oh, forgive me my bad habit. It's Latin. Dicere. It means while I breathe, I hope. As you survive your ordeal, Frau Heinrike, I would behoove you to cling to the belief that the young lady von Essen might still live, but alas. It seems rather unlikely, don't you think, after all you have related?
No, Herr Gerhardt, what I said is nothing but the truth. You have to believe me.
And like I said, I do believe you. About the bandits, at least.
You stupid man.
Unfortunately, though, that is, it really is a bloody business. I can accept, however unwillingly, that this is indeed come to pass. What kind of sentence was that?
Just speak like a normal human being.
Right? It is not inconceivable that Lord and Lady von Essen met their demise thus vita incerta, mos certissima.
Why do you feel the need to do that? Are you thinking that you're more intelligent than this lady, so you can start speaking a random language?
Yes.
So
As
annoying.
for your talk of vampires, however, this is something I cannot accept. No sensible man could. What you have related would go down very well, I am certain, in the company of writers. They are careless, Feckles sort, but it will hold no water with me. You must have hit your head, Frau Henrike, while running from the bandits. That or your fear has undone you. Not that I blame you. You must have endured a good deal for a member of the fairer sex. Oh my god, I hate him. Where even most men, I fear, would have gone to pieces, circumstances being what they were.
I low-key thought that said circumcised.
Oh my god. Your thoughts have been addled. Your delusions. Walter had stressed this word. His fingers steepled together upon his... I'm not even gonna try. About vampires are nothing more than a coping mechanism to soften the reality of the situation. Okay, so you see that there's a dire situation and you should go and try and save her? Oh my god.
You're delusional, and you're just shaken up because you're a woman and you're soft and stuff.
I mean, what baffles me is that even though he doesn't want to believe her, he's still able to recognize that she has gone through a lot of shit. Also, the parents of his spouse are dead. And I feel like I'd be worried at that point, and I'd send out a search party. Like, if I have a traumatized person in front of me who I believe to be so delusional because of trauma, and I also know there's 2 dead people at least, I'd send out a search party. Like, what the fuck?
Man. He's just gonna go find another bride, it's fine.
I think so, too.
I just feel bad for Henny.
Yeah, me too. Maike too must have perished. Oh my god, he just said that. Why don't I read?
What? No! Herr Gerhardt, please!
Henny had tried to appeal to Walter's sympathies, but in vain. One look at Walter's countenance, now closed off, had told Henny all she needed to know. Walter had thought her quite insane.
He's gonna, like, actually give her, like, what is it called? what, female hysteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna tell her she has that.
That used to be a genuine diagnosis. Do you know that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Smart.
read all about it. It makes me so angry.
Crazy.
But it's so interesting at the same time.
I think a spell. Wait. I think a spell of bed rest. A spell of bed rest? Okay. Sounds like a D&D spell.
Jesus.
Would do you some good, Frau Henrike. So you are not one of my servants. I am not so very unkind that I would cast you out onto the streets. You have witnessed horrors I can only guess at, and I am very sorry for your loss. You may remain here if you wish, for as long as you feel the need to, get some rest and try to calm down. I will summon a physician to look over you in the meanwhile to see if anything is awry. I suppose I also ought to summon the police once you have had a chance to rest, so you might give them an account of what you witnessed on the woods. They will be very interested in the fates of the Lord and Lady von Essen, and my Maike too. I would advise you against telling them of the Malakai. Well, I know the word is...
I think?
I know it as Malakai. I don't know what it means now. I have no idea.
Yeah, malarkey over here at least is like that, well, crazy shit, you know? That fib, that fairy tale, basically.
Yeah, well,
just
then it's probably
bullshitting.
malarkey. About vampires, however, I fear they may be less understanding than I, even less, and you may be hauled to an asylum for your troubles. Jesus. I would not want you to be incarcerated, Frau Henrike, and I doubt my Maike would want that either. Okay, so we're at a time where the railways are a big thing. They're in the rise, so we're like 1800s. But there's also already mental asylums, which actually checks out with 1800s.
Yeah. And this is just his way of telling her, shut up or you're going to a mental asylum.
Yes.
Give me a sec. I gotta close my door. I'm gonna kill myself. Yo, I'm back.
Well, another took a turn, but... Okay, well, they had mental asylums before that, so I can't really pinpoint that. Yeah, no, there's like mental asylums going back all the way to like 1500.
Really?
Yeah, but then again, you gotta consider that mental asylums used to have a different purpose, right? I think, God, I learned this in school. Wait. I think around 1900, they started changing it, like roughly around during and after the wars. They started going from housing to caring, you know? Like, before this, mental asylums were just places you put crazy people to not think about the fact that there's crazy people in the world. Like, it was literally just to shove them into a separate house and, like, the society doesn't have to see them. And the way they were treated in that house was how you treat
I looked into that.
like a crazy animal you don't care about. It was really fucking horrible.
I love reading up on that. Like, it's so devastating, but so interesting. At some point, weren't they like, oh my goodness, what was it? I completely forgot. They were removing like part of the brain or something like that.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if it was specifically lobotomy, but in general, their main treatment was to disable people to the point where they can't cause mischief anymore. Right? If you, for example, had a schizophrenic person or like a manic person who had a tendency to run around and be hysteric, because that's just like, yeah, right? Like,
yeah.
You're literally, your way to solve that was make him not be able to scream anymore and make him not be able to walk anymore. So usually they just hit you in the head hard enough that you're just literally brain dead, like almost brain dead, like incredibly disabled, and you can't do anything anymore, and then you're healed. That was their way of healing people back then.
Yeah. But they were putting like everyone in there at some point, weren't they? Like anyone who had like a lot of paranoia or even like OCD or something like that, just in general.
Yeah.
If you had like slight things wrong with you that are so easily like, you know,
I also
fixable
think,
through like therapy or something like that, then they just kind of.
I also think there were a lot of women with quote unquote hysteria as well.
Who were just basically just disobedient and, you know, that's it. Their husbands would put them in the thing, yeah.
It is
terrifying.
Yeah, that really is wild.
Oh my goodness. This is why I would run away with a vampire.
Yes, actually. That sounds so much better. Also, you
Actually,
wanna...
this is good for Micah.
This is so good for Micah. Rather be with a lesbian vampire than a man.
Yeah, he's like, I don't believe you, so you're hysterical. Imagine him saying that to her and her whole life just having to live with this guy.
Right?
What a fucking bummer.
God.
Alright, I think we're gonna cut off here because it's been like 2 hours.
I was gonna finish the scene.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Where are we?
I'll do the rest of the narrating. I don't mind.
Okay. I think I already read this. It is a miracle you were able to escape with your life. Do not waste it. Remember. O quam cita transita gloria mundi.
I'm sure.
Now you are dismissed. Gertrude will show you to your new lodgings, if you will be so kind.
So freaking annoying that at first she was like, I don't understand that. And he said, oh, sorry. And then he continues to say stuff like that. Just to be like, oh, well, I'm smarter than you, so... Fuck, bro.
Amazing, amazing.
Yes, right. I'm shitting myself. Yes, her fuckface. Right away, sir. Gertrude, who had been standing in one corner of Walter's study, as unobtrusive as a houseplant, made to escort Henny to the servants' quarters. Henny had cast her gaze back to Walter before she left, her brow furrowed. Walter had begun to sip once more at his breakfast tea, as though he had not a care in the world. The sight of Walter drinking his tea as if it were any other Monday morning had filled Henny with the sudden urge to take the teapot and append its contents all over Walter's officious-looking face. But powerful though this urge was, Henny had abstained.
Man. Should have done
That
that.
would have been cool. What would that accomplish?
Oh my god, stop having reason!
I hate your logical frickin' ugh. It would not help Micah. Making an enemy out of Walter Gerhardt would only serve to render Henny homeless, cast out into the streets with nowhere else to turn.
Fair, actually.
Begrudgingly, Henny followed Gertrude, the door of Walter's study closing behind her with a thud. Henny had then spent the rest of that day convalescing in bed in the dingy servants' quarters. Walter was a man of his word, if nothing else, and he had summoned a physician later in the day to look Henny over. The physician gave Henny a brief examination, then declared that she was physically fit but mentally exhausted. Something she already knew.
Right.
No one did.
A day or two of bed rest would do her good. Why am I Trump?
Oh my god.
She has something of a fever and she seems distracted.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. The physician's report had been so mild, Henny could have laughed in his face. Ha 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 ha.
Imagine if the painting in the background said he looked at you. I feel like I missed that. From when was that?
Physician talk like Trump, because it is in that time, okay? Jeez. It's a famous accent. Was it any wonder she seemed distracted when even now Micah, her Micah, not Walter's, was in Magdalena's thrall, languishing in all likelihood in a dungeon? Her Micah.
Yes.
Henny wished to fly to Micah's side, but she could not. She was more exhausted than she had anticipated, and lying down made it more so. Dazed and disoriented, Henny had begun to drift in and out of slumber. Her dreams were broken, yet largely featured Micah. Her eyes wide, lips parted in a horrible scream.
Oh my god.
Henny had slept so much during the day that when night fell she had found herself unable to rest. Walter's scullery maids, upon arriving in their quarters, had regarded Henny with some surprise. They fell upon her with curious questions, all buzzing excitedly like so many moths drawn to a brightly flickering flame. "Where are you from?" the girls asked.
When did you
And-
arrive here?
"And how long will you be here?" Henny had been in no fit state to answer these queries, however, because they were so fucking annoying. She had been almost relieved when the sour-faced Gertrude came to scold her underlings for their roundy misconduct. "Oh, do leave Frau Henriette alone."
Henriette. Amazing.
"She has had a trying series of days by all accounts, and she needs to rest, not that I care.
Thank you.
This is what her Gerdart has decreed, and I will not have any of you naughty girls disobeying his orders."
Are you okay? Are you? Who are you?
What?
What kind of position do you
Modify.
hold
It is
in this
literally
house?
Modify. She's the housekeeper. She's like the main maid, I think, the one in charge.
Fair.
"Now stop with your silly chatter. I doubt Frau Henrique much wants to listen to you, and your friendly overtures are all in vain. She's not one of our servants, and I doubt she will be staying here much longer."
Okay, so she does. You don't want me
Into
here,
the
huh?
misogyny.
Oh my god.
Gertrude's stern address seemed to do the trick, for the maids kept a wide berth from Henny throughout the night. They were berthing all night long.
Oh my god. So that is what this house is all about. I see.
They talked amongst themselves and played cards, and only occasionally did they glance to look at her, curious no doubt about these trying days Henny had endured. The maids had eventually begun to yawn, and at 10 o'clock they took to their beds, snuffling snores and creaking bed frames soon filling the room, because they're
Oh.
all lesbians.
Wow.
The 6 scullery maids in Walter's employ all slept, but Henny found she could not. And I'm assuming the moon stayed up in the sky for a million hours again.
Oh, I love her outfit.
Oh, I like her. It was so cute. I wouldn't be able to sleep in that fucking, like, neck
me
thing
neither.
either. Bro. Restless and agitated, Henny now found herself standing by the window. Suddenly feeling claustrophobic, she unlatched it. Look, at least she's capable of opening a window.
Well, she was already better than Micah.
Yeah. Then she let her arms rest upon the sill and looked out into the streets. The sky outside was black as pitch and scattered with stars, the moon round and full, something we could have probably already known
Yeah.
without, The moonlight played against Honey's cheek, turning it paler than it already was, while the cool breeze caressed her hair. The maids who slept closest to the window, Agnes, Henny thought her name was, stirred in her sleep, perhaps disturbed by the open window. Her eyelids, however, did not flutter. Henny afforded the girl only a brief glance before returning her gaze once more to the night sky. Somewhere out there, sequestered away in the woods, was Micah. Henny was certain that Micah lived still, and that as surely as Henny was thinking of her friend was thinking of her. "Don't worry, Micah." Henny murmured this under her breath, so as not to wake Walter's scullery maids. Her face turned to the cold. "I've not forgotten you. I never will."
Okay, I'm getting some heavy gay vibes from Henny. Not gonna lie, I do be getting those deeply in love vibes from Henny.
Either that or like a motherly thing.
Yeah, actually could be both.
"I'll find a way to rescue you, with or without her Gerdart's help. You don't need him. Not when you have me." Oh, okay, you were right.
But it's actually really sweet. I kind of like that. Though I will not like having to choose at the end or something like that. Like, I feel like
No.
Henny's gonna draw the short one here.
Because Henny, is so loved by Micah and seems to love Micah so much, if she doesn't end up with Micah, she's probably gonna be killed off.
Oh no, Henny!
Yeah.
Man, don't do her dirty like that.
It makes me
Jesus.
nervous. All the cold air does to me is caress my feet. It's terrible.
What?
Don't act like you're not into that maxi poo poo.
Oh my god. Again, I'm not seeing that.
Little. You naughty,
I might be
naughty.
happy about that.
There's a lot of foot fetish talk right now in chat, isn't that right? You freaks.
Oh,
Anyways.
it says all the cold air does to me is caress my feet. I heard all that dare